Again, we're going to use the sandwich effect here. So we'll start with the positives. Not everything in the show was terrible. You know, ironically, it has one of the greatest scenes in all of comic book genre. The Frank Castle and Daredevil scene from like episode 4. It's literally one of the best. The dialogue between Fisk and Matt in episode 1, maybe it was episode 2, I forget. Absolutely fantastic, incredible. There's really good action. There's like some parts that are truly crazy and really good action. Some great performances. Some spooky stuff. Some of the new characters have a chance. If they continue to build, maybe they'll be really interesting and fun. You know, bringing back the old characters was, of course, a great call. I thought Bullseye this season was really interesting. He almost has a more interesting arc than a lot of the other characters. So it's not like the show, despite me thinking it's a real stinker, it's not like everything in the show is bad, and it's not like we should just throw it all out. And I would hope that at some level Marvel is able to recognize that there were certain things that really worked, that the audience really connected with, and then there were things that just didn't work, right? So, you know, I'll start with that, and I'll just start by saying, frustrating season, but it is not as though I want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's not like we should burn it all down. Nobody should be fired. But we should be able to speak our minds and talk about what did and did not work. And I think the greatest sin of this show is, now we're going to get into the negatives. The greatest sin of this show is that it's not the overhauled show. It just really isn't. I mean, as far as I can tell, this is half of the season that they were originally going to shoot. But somewhere along the line, they made two decisions. One, they needed to cut out some of the political stuff. Now, there's a bunch of people online right now that are praising the show for having Frank kill the cops. But if you actually know what the old version of the show was going to be, and you know and you notice all the words that Frank uses, it's very obvious that they cut out the focus on it being police officers, and it's just fanboys and crazy people, and like, so they cut out this really inflammatory thing that they were trying to do that John Bernthal was not going to sign up for. That got removed. I wonder how much of that was just a calculation for political backlash from the fans, or was it really just to cater to John himself? Was it because Vincent and Charlie were also speaking to this? I'm not really sure, but I think that's clearly the first thing that happened in the show. Right? So I feel very strongly that that's what happened. But the second thing, and this is, I think everybody can agree with this one, they changed the show to resemble the old Netflix show more closely. This means stylistically, they brought over the Punisher showrunner. They brought over a lot of the old cast. But here's the problem, okay? This is not an overhauled show. It is literally not. It's half of a season that was, I guess you could argue, way worse, way more floaty, way more slow burn. It is half of a season that they already shot. It is 3 new episodes, episode 1, episode 8, and episode 9. It is various scenes that, frankly, were ADR'd to death, hack jobbed to death. It's so obvious if you know any goddamn thing about filmmaking. There's like scenes where characters don't feel like they're naturally actually in the same room together. Really weird stuff that bothered me throughout the entire season. And so it's a Franken show that took the weakest half of a slow burn show and attempted to make it more palatable and to potentially set it up to become what fans really wanted. And frankly, they just did not go far enough. This seems like a business decision where they were like, well, we can't really get rid of all this footage. We can't really start from scratch and do a whole new show. But what we could do is adjust what we've shot to make season 2 a different show. I feel very strongly that that's what happened here. And I personally would have been happier if they had scrapped it all. Scrapped it all and literally restarted. But we can't always get what we want. And maybe that would have been terrible too. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I feel very strongly that that's what happened. I feel like this show is so much worse than every other season of Daredevil. And frankly, I think this show is worse than a lot of Marvel television. Like, there were people when the reviews were first coming out for the show, because remember, they showed the whole season to people, and there were some people out there saying, this is the best show Marvel Studios has ever made. No fucking way. WandaVision's better. Loki's better. Both seasons. I mean, fuck, dude. Agatha is way better. And I know people are like, well, but Agatha, blah, blah, blah. No, dude, it is. It's way better. So much more competently made. So much more character driven. It has like... Agatha blew me away. Like several, not all the time. A lot of the times it's just whatever. But there were several episodes in Agatha that blew me away. Episode 7, one of the best written episodes of television I've ever seen. It's toit. It's toit like a toiga. Okay? So, brother, what are we doing here is my question. And because, look, had a lot of conversations with people about it. And sure, maybe it's fair. Maybe I'm going a little too hard on it. Okay? And it's not like everything is fucked. And I hope you can appreciate that I've tried to take a tone and a stance that is not like it's over and is more like, hey, this is really bad. I hope it gets better. But the reality is, it is really bad. Like, I don't know how many more times Marvel can try to convince us that a movie or a project is really good when it doesn't, when it's not. You know, and this, I guess what I'll say is this, to put a pin in it and just to like, I think Thunderbolts is going to be hurt by Daredevil. Okay? Because, I mean, first of all, let's look at the poll. Let's look at the poll here. So look, fairly positive. You've got a 40, so it's like 69% to 30 or 41%. Okay, so 27% of people love the Daredevil show. I can't fucking believe that, but it's okay. You know, it's all good. That's your opinion. 32% of people liked it, 31% meh, and 10% of people hated it. So like 60-40. That's not what you want. You want 80-90. Okay? And as far as I can tell, I think the audience is pretty divided on it. And nobody's really watching the show, dude. Did you know that I checked trending this morning, right? Just to see how the show was doing. It wasn't in the top 30 trending in the United States. And there were things in the like the 29th, 30th trending topics had like 2,000 to 3,000 posts. Meaning the amount of actual social media imprint engagement that's happening with Daredevil is like next to nothing. I know it might seem like it to you if you're in the bubble, but if you actually look at the numbers, it's not making an impact. The show can't crack Nielsen's top 10 for either acquired or overall. The show got beat by the finale of Invincible, a cartoon. This show is, there's two things that are going on. A lot of fans decided they're not going to check it out. That's just what it is. A lot of fans either decided maybe I'll check it out later, or I'm never going to check it out. That is absolutely statistically true. Look at the numbers. Okay, so that's one thing that happened. But the second thing is almost more damaging. Out of the people that did check it out, at least 40% of them, which is basically half, don't like it. So out of the people that even watched it, which is so much lower than every other Marvel show, at least 40% of them don't like it. So how does that translate into word of mouth for the people that said they might watch it later, or maybe they would binge it, etc., etc.? This is an incredibly concerning time. This is an incredibly concerning outcome. And if you look at Thunderbolts, right? If you look at Thunderbolts, which is projected not to even hit what Captain America Brave New World hit. Thunderbolts is projected to open lower domestically than the Minecraft movie opened in its second weekend. I hope that's not true. By the way, I made a 17-minute long video, which I'll probably drop later today. I did deep research. Thunderbolts is the best movie Marvel has made in years. I have 5 different reasons that I can back that up for you. If you're excited about Thunderbolts, or if you're on the fence about Thunderbolts, I urge you to watch that video. You're going to get very excited for the movie after you watch this. I did some deep research. There are reasons why and evidence to suggest that this is the best movie that Marvel has made in years. But the punchline is, it might still bomb. So, do you see what's happening here? I think Daredevil is a big reason why people will not go see Thunderbolts. If you're one of the people that decided to skip Daredevil, and then you talk to some people that saw it, and 4 out of those 10 people say it was bad, are you really going to go get your tickets for Thunderbolts? If you're one of the people that did check it out and didn't like it, are you going to go get your tickets for Thunderbolts? I don't know. And Marvel needs to start to ask themselves, how are they supposed to sell tickets for things when the fans are literally still reeling in disappointment from several other projects? So I think this season is bad. And I think what it did to the fandom is bad. Now, let's do the sandwich effect. Let's throw some positivity on top of this. Somehow, some way, they wrapped it up in a way that I am excited for season 2. And, you know, even if everything I said was true, all the speculation I have as far as what changed with the show, et cetera, that still means that the next one will be very different. And just from what we've seen in the set photos, it is different. Matt seems to be armored up. You know, he's wearing the Shadowlands stuff, and it seems to be bulkier, more armored. We've seen scenes with him and Frank. We've seen scenes with him and Karen. So it seems like getting the band back together is obviously going to happen in season 2. And I think the show will be free to truly forge a story forward that's all of its own making. So despite everything, despite all that I'm saying, if I am being honest, season 2 of Daredevil Born Again is still my probably the most anticipated coming show, other than maybe X-Men 97 season 2. Both of those seasons, by the way, supposed to drop next year. So I do believe season 2 has a lot of promise, and it's not so bad that I'm out. And so I would say, if Marvel's bar was there, like, because I'm sort of confused, right? I don't know if they actually thought they made something really good and competent, or if they realized it was goobly, but maybe they could kind of string us along till when it actually gets better. I don't know. Okay. But yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at with it. Is like, somehow, some way, I'm still going to watch season 2. By the way, Marvel, I'm one of the people that watched the show. I'm one of the people that promoted the show. Like, I'm on your team. I'm just very fucking frustrated, and I feel like it's okay to voice these concerns and to speak honestly about what I see going on. So, those are my thoughts on the season overall. Thanks for watching, and if you like this clip, smash a like on the actual video and subscribe to this channel. That way more of these clips get into your feed. I've also linked the full episode below if you want to check out the entire thing, including the Q&A we do with fans. You can also watch this show live. We do it live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And you can also find all of my content, including the videos I put on my main YouTube channel, on the podcast feed.